Good afternoon, viewers. Another case we are taking up today, and that is again a very important one. There is heavy misuse of government vehicles in Jammu and Kashmir by officers in high violations of guidelines that has been set for the usage of government vehicles. Now comes the question whether the J&K governor will look into the whole matter to save to the tune of crores of rupees that is paid eventually by the taxes or given by the people. J&K government had given vehicles to officers for the official use, but if it will be inquired across, it will be found that it is being misused by many, which is causing loss of crore of rupees to the state exchequer. As per the information with Crosstown News that came from very reliable sources in the administration, officers of the rank of additional secretary or special secretary, they are not entitled for using the government vehicles in Jammu and Kashmir. But why it is not being implemented in Jammu and Kashmir? Because we can see that number of officers who stand in this rank, instead of one vehicle, they are using two vehicles when they get to the certain position or certain job profile. They are using more than one vehicle, and again, bizarrely getting misused in this sense or that sense. Many people across Jammu, when our team surveyed, they told Crosstown News that they can find the J&K government vehicles being parked in sabji mandis, being parked in railway stations, schools and other places where the families are using the vehicles, and more interestingly outside the office timings also. Now, as per the information that is available with Crosstown News, one senior engineer of the rank of chief engineer, he openly dared to bring a change into the structure and has fired a letter quoting the rules which are being violated by the officers or his juniors of the wing he is handling, which can save lakh of rupees to the J&K government every month. So if one officer he has come up in open to take the actions, especially against the misuse of the government vehicles, it will be very great to see if other officers they will come forward and take this issue. They are senior officers, senior IS officers for that matter, especially in the government rules, since ministers are not there. The officers, they can take up the onus, put a structure of usage of the government vehicles, because this will save crore of rupees to the J&K government annually, which can be used up for the development. As per the details which are available with the Crosstown News, which is under the Appendix 13 of Financial Code Volume 2, the point number 13 is very important. No vehicle will be garaged at the private residence of any officer of J&K government. So, the point which I mentioned now, I am repeating it again, that under Appendix 13 of Financial Code of Volume 2 clearly specifies on point number 3, page number 454, that no vehicle will be garaged at the private residence of any officer of J&K government, which categorically mentioned that no vehicle can be parked at the private residence of any J&K government officer. But if we look around here and there, we'll find ample of such vehicles parked, and not one, even two or three. Point number 14 states log books shall be written daily by officer using the vehicles, and these should be checked by the garages department weekly. Log books are being done. There is no hidden fact, but how they are done, there has to be another question on that. But yet, is the garages department of Jammu and Kashmir checking the weekly log books? I'm afraid they are not. Then point number 16 categorically mentions petrol expenses will not be debited to the contingent grants. We have to again check, is it happening or not? The point number 18 says there will be vigilance agencies under the direct control of the Chief Secretary of Jammu and Kashmir, which has a primary duty of reporting any misuse of government vehicle by the government, issued by the government to the officers. Again, it has to be seen whether there is certain vigilance agency operating in Jammu and Kashmir at the moment, and if it is operating, how it is getting or how it is working to see the misuse of the vehicles, and how many cases they have mentioned it to the Chief Secretary or for that matter to the J&K government. Point number 19 says the garages both at Jammu and Srinagar and district headquarters will be 24-hour service. So even at night, if a government officer he has to go to a certain work related area, he can go, because the garages both at Srinagar and Jammu, they have to be open for 24 hours. Point number 19A also gets the onus on the driver. If a case arises where an officer is trying to dominate the whole story and driver is left with no option but to obey his senior for that matter or his officer, the point number 19A of the volume 2 clearly states that the driver of the vehicle shall be personally responsible for its misuse, if any, either by him or by the officer at whose disposal it is placed. I am repeating again, the driver of the vehicle will be personally responsible for its misuse, if any, either by him or by the officer at whose disposal it is placed. He should not undertake any journey which is not covered under these rules or the orders of the government issued from time to time. So it is the direct responsibility of the driver also to see that the basic rules which are set by the government, J&K government for that matter, they are being implemented, they are being followed. Even if the officer goes against the direction, then it says that in any case where the driver of the vehicle is forced to make any deviation from the prescribed procedure rule, he should immediately report it to the deputy director concerned. The deputy director, Director State Motor Garages, should immediately bring the case of such breaches to the notice of the concerned HOD for taking appropriate action. So it clearly, the point number 19A states that it is the sole responsibility, the vehicle is the sole responsibility of the driver, not the officer at whose disposal the vehicle is placed. So driver should follow all the rules that are being put by the J&K government into the picture, and even if the officer asks or put pressure on him to do a certain thing which is out of the rule book, he can immediately report it to the deputy director, the concerned deputy director or the Director State Motor Garages, who will then write to the concerned HOD for the actions against the concerned officer. So with these points, they clearly mention that how the things have to be used, how the government vehicles need to be used for the outcome related purposes, not for the personal purposes. But the sad thing is that in Jammu and Kashmir, in many cases, if not in all cases, the vehicles are getting misused. It is high time for the J&K governor to take action and put a certain picture or put a certain procedure where the vehicles are used in the right notion. We'll be coming back with another story for you soon. Keep following Crosstown News. Thank you.